Hey guys, just doing a quick video on using a Neo Geo one-slot board to test your cabinet that you're currently working on. One of the really cool things about the Neo Geo one-slots is they're not very expensive. They're quite common. The BIOS chip for the Neo Geos, they're always socketed, so you don't have to desolder anything. Basically, this is obviously the default BIOS in a mask ROM. I've taken it out. I currently use the mod BIOS for my Neo Geos for testing cabs. The main reason is because it has color saturation bars, which are really handy when you're dialing in your red, green and blue, which I will show you in a second. So yeah, so this is a Neo Geo one slot. One of the cool things is for your test board, the actual one slot doesn't have to be fully functional. This one's a faulty one. It'll boot to the crosshash, and that's fine. As long as it boots to a crosshash, you can take the BIOS chip out, this guy here, which is a 27C1024, exactly the same as the PGM BIOS, funnily enough. And yeah, and you can go to buy IC now and buy chips off there, and if you don't have a programmer, they'll program the chips for you and then send them to you. So that's really handy to note. So yeah, so that's a Neo Geo one slot. Just make sure you get the ones that do actually have the socket. The later boards are all surface mount, and there's no socket. It's a completely different chip. It's a surface mount chip instead of a through hole. So just be wary of that. But this size was about the last where they did with the dips for the BIOS. So that's that board there, guys. So we all know what the Neo Geo one slot looks like. Now I'll just do a quick walk over to my test machine, and you can actually see why I use this board. So this is my test machine. It has an LCD, not a CRT. It just makes it a little bit easier for doing testing. So there's your crosshash that you're used to. This is running the mod BIOS, so the crosshash is a little bit different. The main reason for the crosshash is great for your geometry, for loading where your screen actually is, where your picture begins and all that sort of thing. So crosshash is great. It's great for convergence. It's very handy. So you've got that screen. Now you press start, and here's the color bars that I was talking to about, the actual saturation bars. They're really handy when you're dialing in red, green and blue. On an LCD, you can't get a really good picture that they're actually gradient from fully bright on the right and not so bright on the left. The other cool thing is testing buttons. The Neo Geo one slot will test all your buttons. So when you're wiring up a cab or you're not sure which wires go where, you can plug them in and it'll actually tell you. So it'll do the joystick, up, down, left, right, and then 4 buttons and your start and select buttons. So that's really handy as well if you're diagnosing problems, you've got a button that's not working or whatnot. Plug the Neo Geo in, turn it on, go to this screen, and you can press all the buttons, and you can see whether they're working. There you go, up, down, left, right, etc. So yeah, just a small little video. That's the board I use when I'm testing cabinets, when I'm dialing in CRT tubes, when I'm testing CRTs. I always use the Neo Geo. One of the advantages of it is because we do so many machines, we can keep the quality of each machine very close to the previous one. As sort of like a calibration standard as such. So yeah guys, just a quick little video, and yeah, enjoy.